are you tonight? Oh, good. I'm also woo. I'm doing really well. My name's Sam. A little bit about me. I recently graduated college. Thank you. Yeah, it was a really big deal for me because it was also around the same time I came out to my friends and family as unemployed. Yeah. So when I told them, they were like, "Oh, honey, we knew." And I'm like, what gave it away? And they're like, when you were 18 years old, you came up to us and said, "I want to major in English literature." Yeah. So I guess it was written in the stars, but that's okay. So yeah, I've dealt with unemployment, as Vanessa was also talking about. Didn't run into any Tennessee beauty queens, but yeah, it was difficult. I learned in the process of looking for jobs that skills and experience are kind of open to interpretation, right? So yeah, it's weird. Like making copies at a law office turns into reinventing business language for legal professionals. Yeah. Teaching arts and crafts, basically glorified finger painting, to kids at a summer camp becomes managing teams of about 12 individuals for creative projects. Right? Yeah, thank you. It was tough work. Yeah. Watching The Lion King on repeat and memorizing all the lyrics is now fluent in conversational Swahili. Yeah, which brings up a lot of matatas when you go in for the interview. Yeah, but being unemployed isn't without its silver linings, obviously. It gives you a chance to kind of explore your hobbies outside of the office. Which for the longest time I thought was crying in my car outside of the office, but that's not necessarily all it is. Yeah, so I was a journalism student and I love journalism. I want to see my byline in the New York Times. So I thought maybe I'll get into news podcasts. So it was really nice because it kind of exposes all the interesting things in the world to be killed by, right? So. Yeah, there's a lot of options these days, like climate change, like texting and driving, and oh my God, anybody who gets mad at you at a club for rejecting you. So it's just the possibilities are endless, which is horrible. Horrible things happen. But as someone who wants her name in the New York Times, it's fantastic because my chances of having my name in there have never been higher as a crime statistic. So, yeah, I want my name in there. Why it's there, inconsequential. Like, I made it, right? Most people submit a resume cover letter. I know it's as easy as having a glorified death. So, hey, that'll show them, right? I also really love film. So I got back into watching and analyzing different films, which was awesome, because I'm a film buff and a pretentious person. Yeah, which surprises people because outwardly I find pretentious people annoying. But yeah, because it's all like, oh, that was derivative of Kubrick's early work and that reflects the narrative very poorly, which I totally agree with. But yeah, I think, in my mind, because I think pretentious thoughts and don't say them out loud, that makes me a less pretentious person. Yeah, which is probably the most pretentious thing I've ever said out loud. Yeah. But hobbies be damned, because I have a job now, so. Thank you. Yeah. When I used to tell people I was majoring in English literature, they would always be like, "Oh, so you want to be a teacher, right?" And I'm like, hell no. Not that. I want to be a journalist who writes screenplays on the side while simultaneously earning my Pulitzer, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, like a regular PGOT. So joke's on them now, because I'm a teaching assistant. So, yeah, that's right. Thank you. And it has most of those letters in it already, so I'm basically halfway there. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm going through a kind of quarter-life crisis. Midlife crisis, because climate change. Don't have that much time, people, so, you gotta speed up the normal midlife crisis. I have to skip the trophy wife stage, the sports card. It's a real shame. Yeah. But I'm working through my existential crises. I just got into therapy too, which is great. Yeah. my therapist tells me I seek constant validation from others, which is pretty hard to deny as I sit in front of a room full of strangers, seeking your validation. Yeah. But in order to combat that, she was like, oh, maybe try to validate yourself. And I'm like, that's a fantastic idea. So she's like, do exercises, like say 3 things you like about yourself every day. All that bullshit, right? So like, I'm smart, I guess. I'm kind, I'm brave, whatever. So I did that. A couple months later, I go back to her and I'm like, so, I've been doing these exercises. And she's like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Like, I'm so proud of you. How do you feel? And I'm like, I feel fantastic. Because you just validated me. So, yeah, one less matata for me, my friend. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for validating me.